In Brian Edwards, MajorWager.com, coming to you on May 1st, almost 1 o'clock Eastern. Let's talk some NFL draft. Gotta love what the Bengals did. They get Joe Burrow, the number one pick, off one of the greatest seasons in college football history. He becomes just the second guy to win a natty, the Heisman, and go number one in the draft. Second guy to do it, along with Cam Newton, since the 1940s. Only four total people have accomplished that feat. I like their second round pick. They get T. Higgins out of Clemson, 6'4", huge target, good speed. They've already got A.J. Green. I like Joe Mixon at running back. The Bengals season win total is 5.5 flat. The over-under for Burrow's passing yards as a rookie is 3,800 and one half, and it's minus 112 odds either way. They got Logan Wilson in the third round, linebacker out of Wyoming, very productive throughout his collegiate career. And then they go with the App State linebacker in round 4, Akeem Davis Gaither. And got a good 7th round steal in Marcus Bailey, who has the only reason he was around in the 7th round is he's had some injuries and had a season ender this past year. But like what the Bengals did. Flip side, hate what the Packers and the Bears did. The Bears, they overpaid for Jimmy Graham past his prime in free agency. And I read one article said they have now 9 tight ends on the roster. Another one said 10. I don't know how many they've got, but you don't need that many. And they trade up in the second round to get a tight end that wasn't even the best tight end on the board. And they have plenty of tight ends, and they just overspent on tight ends. What the Bears were doing, I have no idea. Green Bay, perhaps even worse. I mean, you go 13-3, you make the NFC Championship game. You've got one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, top 10 for sure, and Aaron Rodgers, who is at 36, which is not over the hill at all for a quarterback. I mean, that guy's got at least 3 really good seasons left. 2 years left on his contract, and not only do you draft a quarterback and, hey, circle of life thing, huh? I mean, exactly what they did to Favre with Rodgers, they do to Rodgers. So they go Jordan Love, they trade up from 30 to 26, and they give away their 4th round pick. So you go quarterback in round 1. You trade up and give away your 4th round pick. I mean, this was a wide receiver rich class. Love might have been there at 30. Your 4th rounder, you could have got a wide receiver. They don't go a wide receiver rich draft. They don't draft any receivers. I mean, I love A.J. Dillon out of Boston College, the 2nd round pick, but they're pretty stacked at running back. I mean, I'm okay with the A.J. Dillon pick, but no wide receivers, quarterback 1st round. What are you doing? So the Packers went from 17-1 to win the Super Bowl to 20-1 at Circa Sports. Tua under 5.5 in round 1. He goes 5th to the Dolphins. Tank for Tua. They get their guy, even though they won some games down the stretch to give them confidence for next season, including the upset of the Patriots that denied New England a 1st round bye. So Tagovailoa, FanDuel has Fitzpatrick as a minus 270 favorite to be a Miami starter in week 1. Tua's at plus 200. Josh Rosen, 25-1 long shot. I'm not a huge fan of Herbert. I think 6 is too early, but the Chargers get their guy for the future. Panthers go Derek Brown out of Auburn. Was at the Swamp this past year. Watched him force multiple fumbles in the first quarter. The Raiders, look, not many people had Ruggs, the top-rated receiver. Most had CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy. But the Raiders always go speed, and true to form, They went with Henry Ruggs, the 4.27 40 time at the combine. And they got two very good SEC receivers in the third round. Brian Mama Can't Spell Edwards out of South Carolina and Lynn Bowden out of Kentucky, who can be a factor on special teams in the return game. He played quarterback a good chunk of last year at Kentucky, kind of a Randall Cobb like guy, maybe a little Antoine Randall L. and Lynn Bowden. And, he can run some wildcat in short yardage or goal line. You can run trick plays with him. He has the ability to pass, good speed, and a good receiver. And then, you get the fact that he can be involved in special teams, trick plays, wildcat, etc. I like it. And how about the film clips of Henry Ruggs from high school just dunking nasty as hell in the Gump, Montgomery, Robert E. Lee High School? Man, my Falcons were so close to getting either. Jerry Jeudy almost fell in our lap. He dropped, but the Broncos snagged him one pick ahead at 15. And Javon Kinlaw, who I really wanted out of South Carolina, went 14 to the Niners. So the Falcons, I thought, reached a little bit for Clemson cornerback A.J. Terrell. He had an over-under of 32.5. So, I mean, maybe the Falcons could have traded down and still got him in the mid to late 20s and added a pick. But you know what? Everybody said that Thomas Dimitroff, the GM in Atlanta, they said he reached for Keanu Neal in the first round like 4 years ago. Keanu Neal was an all-pro in year 2, and unfortunately has had a week 1 injury 2 years ago and a week 2 injury. There were season enders. But so hopefully Terrell out of Clemson, the corner, will work out like that for the Falcons. I like the other picks for the Falcons. They add some O-line depth. They get some linebackers and some secondary help. Jalen Hawkins, a safety out of Cal, had 6 interceptions in 2018, 10 for his career. So the Cowboys got very fortunate with CeeDee Lamb falling to them at 17. Love how his woman tried to grab his phone while he was doing an interview, and he just grabbed it right back like that. Clyde Edwards-Helaire to Kansas City, great fit. So the first round starts with an LSU guy, it ends with an LSU guy. Would they have 5 guys in the first round? Patrick Queen to Baltimore, love that fit. Also, Chason went to Jacksonville at 20, and love the Vikings getting Justin Jefferson, who might be as good as Stephon Diggs right this second. But the Edwards-Helaire is a great fit in Kansas City. Andy Reid has always loved throwing the ball to the running backs. Edwards-Helaire, you've got all the threats KC has in their passing game, from Tyreek Hill to Kelsey, to Marcus Robinson, et cetera, et cetera. You've got all those threats, and then you can just dump it off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire in open space, one-on-one against a linebacker. He's going to be a really good fit. And he has I think it's the 3rd shortest odds to win NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year at circa. I think he's plus 450, I believe. I'm not looking at it right now. My apologies if I'm off a little bit. But Burrow's the plus 230 favorite. And Tua is either plus 450 or 5-1. So obviously the odds makers think Edwards-Helaire is a great fit too. He's not going to be your between the tackles 15 to 20 carries a game guy, but the way Andy Reid likes to throw it to backs, he's going to be a big time weapon for them. So what else? So 15 guys went in the first round of the SEC. LSU had 14 total players drafted. Bama 9, Georgia and Florida 7 apiece. Auburn 6. Let's see. What are some late picks of value that I like? Gosh. Who was it that got the FAU tight end? Oh, darn it. I'm shooting a blank in the 4th round. can't find it here. Dadgummit. Harrison, right? From FAU. Anyway, I like Keyshawn Vaughn to the Bucks in round 3. Let's see. Who did the Jets get my boy LaMichael Pirine in round 4. Jets, plenty of Gator flavor. They went Jabari Zuniga, who will join Marcus May and Brian Poole. Oh, Arizona got good value on their third round pick. Offensive tackle out of Houston, Josh Jones, who many had a first round grade on, and I thought Arizona got good value with their 6th and 7th round picks. Cal linebacker Evan Weaver and Arizona State running back Eno Benjamin. If you get a 7th round pick that can make the team, that's good. Eno Benjamin will make the team and maybe be a factor as a rookie right away. The Vandy guys, Collegiate Lipscomb and Jared Pinkney, did not get picked. Like I said, Vaughn to Tampa Bay. Lipscomb signed with Kansas City, undrafted free agent, and Pinkney signed with my Falcons, who I won't be surprised if he makes the team. Jalen Hurts went to the Eagles, who took Jalen Rigor of TCU ahead of Justin Jefferson. Don't know about that one. All right, there's some NFL draft convo. Brian Edwards, MajorWager.com. Over and out.